actual video.
Yeah. So, hi buddy. So last week, great ride. How was that?
Last week in Anaheim was awesome for me. The determining factor, I think, was the starts. I had good starts in the heat race and the main event. Put me in a good position. The track was fairly basic, and it allowed everyone to kind of rubber band at the beginning, so it tended to help me. So we'll see how we do here tonight in Phoenix, but last week Anaheim was a great start for the season for me.
Knowing how much work you put in over the off season, were you surprised by your result, or were you like, yeah, that's kind of where I expected to be?
No, I mean, every year I put in quite a bit of work. At this point in my career, I think it's more mental than physical. So was I surprised? A little bit, because I did quite a bit better than last year. And another aspect, no, because that's kind of what I was dreaming about, like that's what I wanted to do, accomplish, and be in the top 5. That was a great goal of mine. Now I have to kind of reset that. So was I surprised? Yes, and no. I was hoping for that, but you never know until you line up next to 20 other dudes.
Your heat race battle was pretty rad with Kenny. What was more intense, that one or your battle with Ryan there towards the end of the main event?
The first heat race was probably more intense, I guess, with Kenny. It wasn't so much that it was with Kenny, or I think it was just being the first heat race. The first time you've been to a stadium, under the lights, with that many people in the stands and next to other riders, it's only natural that you're gonna be a little nervous, excited, and have all that adrenaline going. So I think that's why all of us love to race, and it was a cool feeling, and especially to win a heat race for me. It's been quite some time since I've been able to do that, and it was a great feeling, and you could hear the crowd and all that, so it's something I'll never forget.
You're the only guy out here with air suspension. A lot of work and progress for that. How has that been for you?
It was cool last weekend to ride with air suspension front and rear. Just the simple fact we've been working on it for a while, and the Euro guys, I call him Stevie Wonder. He's the one who designed the air forks. He has a whole team, but he's one of the guys that came over, and also Martine from WP. Those two, for them to be there at the race and see it on the track work as well as it did was a huge thing for me, but for them it was like a whole group project, and for us to be that competitive straight away was there's some, it was just a good feeling.
The biggest thing for you this year is the new bike. How does it feel with limited time on it?
The new bike is huge for us. For KTM, I think they're going to sell quite a few of them, and I love it. It feels more like a Japanese bike, but it retains a lot of the KTM traits. The biggest difference I feel like is it turns really well, and the weight is huge. It's easier to ride. And for Supercross, when you're flipping your bike, from one side of the track to the other, it's a big noticeable difference. So I'm really excited to race it for this year, and I think it's going to be huge for our team with BTO Sports and also KTM.
You've pretty much taken on like main development role for KTM. Yes or no?
Yes and no. I think I do some stuff for KTM, like the suspension, but I'm not so involved with the Red Bull team. They have some different sponsors with the Krapovich, and we run Pirelli tires, FMF, and we set our bike up a little different. And me being set in my old ways, I like a power that's more like a traditional 450 from back in the day, and the other guys maybe ride it a bit softer. So my bike's different than theirs. We start with the same base, but it's not like what I test is what they use or whatever, and I think it's a big collective effort. That's what's cool about KTM with their factory services program. They have many different riders, and they use all that everyone starts with the same base, and then you can fine tune from there. So we all kind of test in different areas.